Today I started off with Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, and Toni Storm defeating Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, and Bianca Belair. And of course, Rhea Ripley's team came on top. What can I say? Every single time I watch these women perform, especially in NXT, I am truly amazed. Like, NXT to me is one of the most interesting brands of wrestling I've witnessed in a very long time. It's refreshing, is what I should say. After the match, we have Imperium defeating the Forgotten Sons in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Boom. After that, we have some rookies. We have Austin Theory defeating Joaquin Wilde. I hope I pronounced that right. He's a new guy, so I'm not, might not be too familiar with his name. But Austin Theory came out with that W. Like I said, these are two rising stars, not rising, but they're on their way to stardom. And this is just the beginning. And Austin Theory, he's been making a name for himself outside of NXT. He came to NXT, and it seems like he is going to be taking things over sooner than later. After that, we have the Undisputed Era NXT Tag Team Champions defeating Gallus, the NXT UK Tag Team Champion, in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Like I said, tag team wrestling is freaking amazing, isn't it? These freaking, anytime Undisputed Era is in a match, for some reason it's interesting. I guess they really are shocking the system, aren't they? After that, we have now this one's gonna take a little time. It's not gonna be so simple, because Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano, I have to talk about that. I have to be a little fanboy quickly. We haven't even saw them wrestle yet, but I'm sorry, Johnny freaking Wrestling versus Finn Balor, NXT TakeOver Portland. Yes, please take my money 18 times. I might travel to Brooklyn just to watch that match and vlog the entire thing. Finn Balor was already he was one of the hugest things NXT has ever saw. Johnny Gargano just got done with one of his biggest NXT runs. He was main event in TakeOver after TakeOver. He was the main talk for since 2017 and 2018. You heard Johnny Gargano's name, and he was putting on fantastic matches. One of my favorite matches was him versus Andrade Cien Almas. And then I think that was for the NXT Championship, and I think that was when Ciampa came back. That was a live event. He was making big matches out of nothing. Johnny freaking Wrestling versus Finn Balor. For some reason, it seems like it's more about Johnny Wrestling. But right now, Finn Balor, we're witnessing greatness. He's heading back into the heel. He's looking like the heel he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's reinvigorating his character. I can't wait to see him go back to the main roster. I'm so excited to see what these two bring to the table. Johnny Wrestling, Finn Balor, take my money. Please, please. After that, we have... This was one thing I've been waiting for a little while. Mia Yim defeating Kaden Carter. 1 second. Kaden Carter is actually a really underrated wrestler. Just for somebody who I've been waiting for. Chelsea Green finally made her appearance by attacking both of them, clearly showing us who she was after. And that was Mia Yim. And them two were in TNA together. So what we're doing is putting two people who are already comfortable with themselves in a rivalry. I bet you this right now. Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim, NXT TakeOver. Yes. You're not going to believe in it at first, but I promise you this right now. That is going to be one of the most talked about matches after the TakeOver. Is the main event with Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic, I think that's how you pronounce it, versus Cameron Grimes versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest's entrance reminds me of Baron Corbin's, but he actually fits the character he's playing. Like I said, these four completely tore the house down. Who would have known? Like, at first, did we really believe in Keith Lee when he first got here? Like, we loved Keith Lee as a wrestler. He's a freaking menace on that microphone. But like, at first it seemed like it was like a little slow for him, right? It doesn't seem that way anymore. It seems like he's finally confident in the character he is for NXT. He's confident in this Limitless character. I watched this promo and he was talking, and it just seemed perfect. And Keith Lee came out on top in a great match. So that's it, basically. That sums up all the matches, sums up everything that's happening in NXT. And like I said, guys, NXT is my favorite brand of wrestling. My first ever NXT takeover was the most exciting NXT takeover. It was Adam Cole's debut. I remember because I had goosebumps. I still kind of get the goosebumps. I don't know if my hair's starting to stand up. You could kind of see it. But every single time I think about that pay-per-view, I get goosebumps because that was my first time watching such a insane debut. Adam Cole came out of the crowd. You'll see it in the back. Adam Cole came out of the crowd. Super kick Drew McIntyre. I was losing my mind. I will never forget it. I feel bad because I had to kick my ex-girlfriend out of the house a little bit earlier just so I could watch that because I seen the rumor that he might appear. And he did. And the fanboy in me, those expectations were met greatly. So yeah, NXT holds a special place in my heart, and it's always going to. Triple H, I would love to work for you one day. You are a genius. Genius. My favorite performance of the night, Chelsea Green. Because I like the way how confident she looked today. And when she looks that confident, it makes us fans believe in that character, right? So every single time I watch stuff like that go down, I love to see it because Chelsea Green, she looked good out there and she didn't have to do that much. She made a little bit of noise, and that's all she had to do. Rhea Ripley, she slowly transitioned into a face over time, and now she's holding the NXT championship, and now she's top dog, and that's dope. That's actually really awesome to see. Here's a wild prediction. You want to know who's going to take that title from her? I have two people. Dakota Kai, Io Shirai. Two predictions. That's who I think will take the title off of her. For the NXT Championship, Adam Cole. Prediction. Who's gonna take that title off Adam Cole? I don't know. I have no clue. We have the big one coming up, so he's probably gonna lose it there, Adam Cole. Call me crazy. Roderick Strong. Why? Does he need to go to the main roster right now? Not really. What would be a great way to separate him and turn him into a face? Separating him from the Undisputed Era. Making him go after the big gold. Letting him become a Grand Slam champion. He held the Tag Team Championships. He has the NXT North America Championship. All he needs is the NXT Championship. It's a possibility that I doubt will happen. But we'll see when the time comes. So that's my predictions. And yeah. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Timeoutalk. I'm your host, Michael Mark Simpson. And stay tuned for the next episode. See ya!